I'll call this meeting to order. Determine there's a quorum present. We have Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Nettleton, Commissioner Flores, and myself. We have a quorum. Commissioner Wardlaw, if you would, please lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 4, approving minutes.
Move.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second. Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
All right.
5-0 vote. Citizens' comments. Nobody walked up.
Huh?
Were you gonna do citizens' comments, or were you gonna?
Oh,
You okay? All right.
yes, sir, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Just make sure. Approving subdivision plats. None. None. Certificates of compliance.
None.
Approving monthly reports.
Move.
Elected officials. Did you move?
You did.
Who did?
Yes.
Yes. Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second by Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Approving bills for payment.
Move.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 10, recognizing county employees for their years of service by presenting awards. Juanita?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
It is my pleasure to present our employees this year that are getting recognized for years of service. Normally, we do this at our employee appreciation party, but considering the situation this year, we are not able, so we will make the best that we can this morning. I will be calling everybody up in groups of 5 based on their years of service, and then we'll present them with the plaque and a pin. Okay? Alrighty. 5 years. First, we have Judge Lopez. If everybody will please applaud her. Here you go, Judge. Congratulations, ma'am.
Judge, if you'll stand over here for a minute, and we'll all take a picture all together. All 5 of us, we're gonna do a group of 5.
Next, we
Two on each
have
side and one on the front of the podium.
Judge Foss, 5 years. Treasurer Aaron Rodriguez, 5 years.
There you go.
And Roland Garza.
You here? Oh, Roland?
Brenda Rivera, 5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And Norma Garcia, 5 years.
Robert, do you stand just in the middle there?
Yes, sir.
Just right there in the middle? That's fine.
Right, Ms. Norma, yes, sir. Hi, Ms. Norma, right
You
here.
don't mind getting up so we can get a picture? Make sure that I'm not. Norma, if you'll just straighten it up. Just straighten it up.
Here?
Juanita. Juanita.
Hi, Ms. Norma.
That's it, you got it? I was gonna say, is he blocking you? But yeah, there's no way. Easy, got it.
There we go, right there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all, Gary. Thank y'all.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
There'll be 7 of those.
Next, we have Ana Gia, 5 years. Hi, congratulations on your discount. Juan Delgado,
I'm more nervous about this.
5 years. Mario Vargas, 5 years also.
Mario?
Vanessa Payne, 5 years. Nancy Gomez,
Nope.
and Mariana Ford. Brandon Vasquez. Roberto Vega.
Roberto not here.
Cecilia Martinez. And Maria Rosales.
Here we go again.
Were you sending pictures to the news herald?
He said we were buying a paper.
News herald, right?
I see you. Bad. I didn't mean it like, she's short. Hey, I didn't mention it like, move on. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all.
Hey, mira, pelón, tú también. Un pelón.
And one more, Javier Yulisa Guajardo.
All right. All right.
Next, we have 10 years, Adrian Gonzalez.
Para ti, no digan nada de Thank you.
Rogelio Musquiz.
Some of us could have that hairstyle.
There he is. He made a journey into. And Mary Ross.
You'll stand and wait. Thank you, Mr. Roy.
One more. And Richard Davi. Right here, Richard.
That's right. Doing aerobics. That's a good one. But over there, you hear the moaning and the groaning every time they gotta get up. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
In 2 weeks, I'm gonna have my hair like yours.
Yeah. Okay, next 10 years, we still have Miguel Lozano. Martha Garza. Valerie McKechnie.
Wow, now that's right.
On that side,
That is
no.
right feet. There we go. We want that stuff. I was fine.
I know.
Maria Garcia.
I'm just a photographer now.
Oraga.
Two. Thank you.
Juan Herrera.
Everybody's happy, got a gun.
Welcome, Mr. Herrera.
You just turn around, I'm gonna take a picture. Pretend you're smiling.
That's what I do.
Right, can I see one? You're good?
Hang on, now you're
Nope.
turning people behind you.
Just that way.
Stay right there. Whoa, right
Stop.
there, don't move.
Can you see one?
Yes.
Right there.
All right.
We have to.
That's me, right? That's the one we put for him every time. Yeah.
And one more 10-year, Maria Villarreal?
Yep.
No? Okay. 15 years, Jose Galvan. And Fanny Gonzalez, 15 years.
Can I get a picture, Judge?
Yes, right there. Smiling too.
Anyone, two,
Did you say to me, what am I supposed to do?
Okay.
Everybody there?
So that's our 20 years, and we have, Cynthia Carvajal. Yeah, that's it for the county.
I'm Laura. You know, apologize.
You want me to add the adult and juvenile also? No? Okay. Adult probation, we have Reggie Van Hill, 5 years. Years.
Get it for you. Oh.
Right. Thank you. Juvenile probation, we have Michael Cirillo, 5 years.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
And 10 years, Oscar Oviedo.
Thank you.
Nope. 15 years, Ricardo Carvajal. And Crystal Ortiz, 15 years. That's that's
Got
it.
it?
Yeah. Yeah, just skip this way so we can get a
Is
picture.
that it?
Right there, sure, right there.
Yeah, 20. Charlie, come.
Okay, right there.
Thank God.
That's it.
Good. Where's the food? We good?
Yes, sir.
We're all good? We have to talk about. Auditors report, need a motion?
Move.
Motion Commissioner Flores, second.
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Aaron?
No.
Okay. Treasurer's report, none. Item 13, accepting donations of various materials left over from the 2020 census for county use. The Verde County Library has been partnering with the U.S. Census Bureau this year for meetings, recruitment, and information.
Motion to approve.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 14, updating status of the emergency SHE program, requesting an amendment to the program policies and granting authority for the county judge to sign letter to TDA requesting changes to that applicable. Ron?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
Did y'all get the report in your packet?
Yes.
Not need to distribute it then. Great news. As of this afternoon, we will be halfway through the grant, have made halfway through all the awards, and we are about 2/3 of the way through the second half. So we're kind of like at the top of the mountain, we're ready to roll down as far as identified applications to expend the rest of the funding. So we've got about a third less of that applicants to identify over the next couple of months before the grant expires. I have two requests. We've identified a group of, I believe, 25 applicants and their families who are at an income level that's just over 50% of area median family income, but below 80% of area median family income. You know, although the program was written for 50, 80 is the actual gold standard. That's what most of the programs run on, at 80% of AMFI, which means you're 20% below the average income for your household size in the county. With your permission, we'll be able to serve that family group. And those are folks that I think really the program was intended to reach. They're working, maybe one spouse got laid off or lost some hours, and so they've been reduced from what they were, but they're still not below 50. So if with your permission, we'll be able to include those families in our awards and get them awarded. And then there was one applicant who also fell in that group, the 50 to 80, but he was a county employee. And I would need your permission to be able to serve any county employees that have no influence over me or my folks or the award making
So
decisions.
you're gonna need a motion for one, to give me authority to sign, and two, to approve the 25 applicants, and then the one applicant that works for the county.
Yes, sir, and any others that may apply if you want to include county employees in the awards.
I'll make a motion to approve, authorize the judge to sign and to approve the change from 50 to 80, what was it, 85?
80%.
And to include the county employee or any others that may apply.
I'll second.
Thank you, sir.
Have motion Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? 5-0 vote. Good.
Thank you.
Discussing matters COVID, I told them we'd call them at 9:45 and come back to them. Item 16, granting authority for the county judge and county auditor to sign draw number 1, Form A-203, requesting funds for engineering services for KSA, invoice number 80220, revised, and administration services, Esser and Company, Consulting LLC, invoice number 1 for Texas CDBG 7219085, San Felipe Cancer, Vega Verde, and Rise Estates Waterline Project. Have a motion?
Move.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor?
All right.
5-0 vote. Adopting a resolution opposing the, abolishment of Texas Dog and Cat Breeder Act.
What is this about?
They passed an act. Donna, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, you want to explain this before I mess it up?
Okay, the licensing act, the Texas Licensed Breeders Act is for corporate breeders, and they passed the act it was enacted in May 2012, and now it's up for sunset review, and nothing has changed other than they just want to have it renewed. And it covers breeders that sell at least 20 animals and have 11 females breeding. So that's a large group, and it doesn't cover anything that has to do with agriculture or law enforcement, anything like that. It's just commercial breeders and the ones that are known as puppy mills that'll breed animals. And they interbreed, they're unhealthy, they keep them in cruel conditions. Those are the ones that they're looking at.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Second, Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you.
5-0 vote. Requesting the public lease of horse stalls to continue at the fairgrounds.
Judge, I've got a comment on that. I know several meetings back, we, agreed to move the horse stables to that property we got out there by Laughlin. And, it's been brought up to my attention by several citizens that the horse stables is part of the Verde history concerning the fairgrounds. So, by that said, I'd like to make a motion and undo the court order that we had about 2-3 meetings ago, and make a motion to keep the horse stables, horses at the fairgrounds.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second. Second. Commissioner Wardlaw. Anybody else want to comment on that? Commissioner Wardlaw, we okay? All those in favor? Okay, aye.
Aye.
Are those against?
Aye.
Aye. It's a 3-2 vote. Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Wardlaw, and Commissioner Flores voted for it. Commissioner Nettleton and myself voted against it. It passes. They'll stay there. I will say though that if we're planning on doing a sports complex, I've been out there when we have loose horses. We will endanger the lives of these kids if y'all are going to go ahead with a sports complex. So I guess we need to come back and revisit that, to see if that's what y'all want to do.
Maybe what we need to do, Judge, also add, some, wording to that. I'd like to add some wording to the motion, I don't know if I can, giving, Commissioner Wardlaw authority to use some money from the insurance to consolidate those horse stables. And maybe build a good fence around them, where no horses will get out.
Well, it isn't that. I mean, I've been out there when, you had riders thrown, and the horse gets loosed. We've had horses out on heck, even on 15th Street. We've had them out on Main Street several times. I guess we need to bring back to the court after the first year, give us some time to think about it, whether we want to utilize those facilities for other than horses. If we're gonna do that, then we come up with a plan on how to do it. But right now, if you go to build any type of field out there, I really think that we're gonna put these kids' lives in danger. We lose about $80,000 to $100,000 a year out there. We don't lose that much on what we spend on 600 kids. We have 66 renters, I think, or something like that out there. So I'm gonna lose $80,000 on 66 renters that are out there, and people that are running a business for $25 a month. It's not recreational anymore. It's a business. That's one. And then you get to where, I've got 700 kids in, soccer. I think I've got 500 kids in baseball. And I don't lose that much money on them. If you divide the amount of money that it costs to run those organizations or to help, them have fields per person is nothing compared to what we're wasting and losing, in my opinion, on 60 renters. Again, it's court action. If the court decides, which y'all have already decided, we've already talked about with Carlos on a way to get the 5 stalls that are there, the 5 shed rows, redone, if that's what y'all want to do. And, consolidate, like y'all said, the building out there. We're working on the pad, visited with you already, but they're gonna move that other building back to the back. The 5 shed rows, and then that 1 shed row that's back there, I think he wanted to use it for, equipment or something.
Yeah.
And then those shed rows down on the bottom would all be removed. That way you could consolidate it. But I think we'll bring it back to the court just to make sure that we're all on the same page as what we're gonna do with kids.
I don't think you're gonna be able to put them out there if you're gonna continue to have horses and continue to have government subsidized, operations for horse operations, and that's what this thing has become. There's drugs, there's drinking, it's just, every time I drive down 15th Street and I look over there at that thing, it looks horrible.
My biggest concern is undoing, Verde history. The fairgrounds, Verde history, it's been there for a good 90 years. It's like removing the library for where it's at, because for whatever reason. It's part of Verde history. we
And I'm
need to
fine
keep
with it.
and respect,
And I'm fine with that, and charge them a reasonable amount of money so that we're not continuing to lose funds.
Well, Commissioner Flotis is correct. Any horse activity should be fenced off from where the children are. And, you know, you can build fences as high as you want to, but if you don't want the horse to get out and run over something, just
Commissioner, you and I both know, we've been in the ranching business a long time. There ain't a fence in the world that will hold every single animal. I've seen cattle running down Main Street, I've seen cattle running around out there when the kids were trying to practice baseball in the front. I mean, we all know that at some point the animals will get out. That's just the reality of it. They all do. Mine do at the ranch, yours do at the ranch. I mean, that's just the reality of animals. You know, so you're never gonna secure it to the point that you can guarantee that something won't get out and get into where the kids are at. But, I mean, that's fine. That's what the court will.
Well, we'll bring it back in January, figure out what we do with the kids. I do strongly believe, though, that if we're gonna throw away 80,000, I'd much rather throw away 80,000 on 800 kids than throw away 80,000 on 60 people, and they have a business out there.
No, I agree with you, and the advantage to moving it is then those people would have the ability to have areas to ride. You know, we set aside 50, 60 acres, they have a place to ride their horses, they have all of those kind of things, but, you know.
Motion passes. Item 19, granting authority for county judge to sign contract extension request for Texas CDBG 7218026 Ridgeline Waterline Project, requesting 6 additional months to complete project. New end date, May 31st, 2021. A motion?
motion to approve and judge sign.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, second. Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
All right.
5-0 vote. Item 20, granting authority for county judge to certify self-monitoring review report and certification for Texas CDBG, contract number 7218026 Ridgeline Waterline Project.
Motion to grant, authority to the judge to sign.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second. Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 21, granting authority for county judge to sign Form A808, request to use force account labor for 7218026 Ridgeline Waterline Project.
Judge, this is, something that we need to do. We've got a deadline to meet on this water extension, and, we've got some leftover money on that grant, so we'd like to hire contracted labor to run a backhoe.
Is that a motion?
Yes, that's a motion.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, second.
I'll second it. It's not gonna cost the county any money.
No money.
Second, Commissioner Nettleton, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 22, granting authority for the county judge to sign grant application for PIP SA to cover expenses for secure access for building on 509 East Gibbs, Street, Devereaux, Texas.
Motion to approve.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 23. Item 23, authorizing Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to purchase 20 Motorola handheld radios out of the general capital in the amount of $93,572.20, and the money's there.
Motion to approve.
It is in this budget.
Yes.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote, and it's the court, y'all have put this in, I think, the last 3 times. I think this is the 3rd time, right now. This is the 3rd time for the radios to get replaced.
These are the handheld, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when are we gonna do something about the handhelds and the other radios we need for our crews that are out dealing with these fires and all this other stuff?
Next meeting.
Okay.
That'd be okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Item 24, authorizing Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to purchase Shelter Pro Management System in the amount of $2,000 to be paid out of animal control equipment line item.
Move.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. The February 1st, I think we've already passed one inspection. Is that right, Chief Fuller? We passed one, waiting on a number in order to start ordering medicine. And I think y'all are shooting for February 1st to be open. Is that correct?
Yes, that is.
Okay. We have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Item 25, authorizing Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to purchase a chest freezer in the amount of $599 to be paid out of.
Move.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Authorizing Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to purchase a refrigerator freezer in the amount of $729 out of animal control.
Move.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, second,
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? 5-0 vote. Ms. Ramon. Ms. Ramon.
Just listen to them.
Ms. Ramon.
She cannot hear you.
Yeah, she can. We're talking. Ms. Ramon, there you go, she muted. Or you muted. Yeah. Approving, Verde County Rabies and Animal Control
Motion
Ordinance.
to table.
A motion by Commissioner Nettleton.
Second.
Second, Commissioner, Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
And that was a motion to table. Item 28, approving an agreement with Rio Grande Electric in the amount of $3,879.83 to be paid out of precinct 3 operating expense and
This
granting.
is, so we can get a meter loop and get water up at the county pocket for fires and roads and stuff like that. Motion to approve.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 29, approving the purchase of a water truck for building maintenance not to exceed the amount of $34,769.93 to be paid out of general capital outlay account and building maintenance.
They have the money for this?
Yes. Well, we set aside $25,000 in capital outlay, and we set aside $40-some-odd thousand for a service truck. Service truck came in cheaper. So I'm gonna move some of that money over. There was a little bit of money, that they were still short, $1,700 maybe? It was about $1,400. And that $1,400, I don't know,
Didn't we have an old tax note that we had not expended all the funds yet?
Out of 2013.
Yeah.
There's $4,060. Did we use
Need
that
to
money?
come out of there.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve, take the money out of the tax note.
Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, please second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Thank you. Approving a lease agreement for the use of the fairgrounds between Verde County and Ryan Sedden for Unleash the Beast, PBR event to be held on January 30th and 31st and February 13th and the 14th.
Are we gonna follow all the
CDC rules.
CDC and COVID rules, mask required?
Yes.
Motion to approve. And it is subject to change depending on circumstances?
On the rules. That's part of the motion.
Yes.
I need it.
Second.
Second, I mean,
Yes, sir. Second, yes.
Commissioner, I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton.
Question.
A second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Bobby, do you have any comments on this?
Well, the only comment I have, as long as it doesn't interfere with the George Paul, we're planning to have it, which is, the longest continuous standalone bull riding in the nation. We're gonna have it as long, it doesn't interfere with it, because we're gonna try to get a deal passed for not 4-H or not high school, any of that, but for professional type rodeos and bull riding. Make like a 3-month apart, we're gonna end up having a whole lot of them. And, as long as it doesn't interfere with the George Paul in April, I'm fine with it.
So, would it interfere?
Well, I don't know, I don't wanna sound like some kind of grouch, but, I don't know if it would. I just said if we do the 3-month thing, it sure might. That's what I want to make sure it doesn't get into, within 3 of, doesn't interfere with the period, that's all.
Who's gonna pay for the 3 months that we're out?
No. I'm talking about you'll be out more than that if you get too many, because you'll be losing people that, attend. Because you can't, there's only so many events that people are gonna attend. In other words, instead of having 5,000 or 6,000, and mine are like 60% out of town money, not local.
Well, I understand that. But,
So,
in San Antonio, they have a rodeo every 2 or 3 weeks.
Where?
In these big cities, they have them.
Oh, yeah,
Valley
in the
has
big
them back to back to back to back to back.
In the big cities,
Okay.
I'll be glad to talk to you and show you some statistics on that sometime. As far as small towns though, I mean, you only got so much money unless y'all want to just give everybody money to go somewhere.
I've got a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Commissioner Vasquez? All those against?
Yes.
Against?
Dale Jones,
You against it?
I'm against it. If, I just wanna add that,
Wait a minute, Edgar, wait a minute. We're taking a vote. It's 3-4. The three that are for are Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Nettleton, and myself. The two that are against having an event at the fairgrounds is Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Wardlaw. You know, I want to make one comment. We're here to rent the facility. You know, I'm not here to take care of one company all by itself. That's my opinion. You know, we start playing favorites. I mean, hell, you might as well close it down, just give it to you.
I have a comment, Judge.
I personally am not going to do that. And I guess the vote stands, it passes, that they'll have the event. Edgar, do you have something? We've already taken the vote.
that, yesterday I spoke to Ryan, he was, leaning more towards the 30th and 31st of January,
Okay,
so just to keep that in mind.
all right, that'll work.
Judge,
Thank y'all. Yes,
Judge,
sir.
if commissioners would change that motion to the 30th and 31st, I would vote for it.
Well, we have a
Well,
motion.
I can't change it because there's a lot of circumstances that may change. You know, it's kind of like what we had to do with the stock show is we had to give two separate dates because of the issues with COVID. It's the same issue that Bobby Paul's gonna have with the April rodeo. I mean, who knows what this thing's gonna look like then? I mean, so. I don't understand why we have to have 3, 4, 5 months between events. I don't understand.
Well, and at the end of the day, it isn't anybody's decision except the court. And however the court votes, just like keeping the horses there, just like this event, it's a court decision. Moving on, 31, considering, organizing a social event for county employees. It'd be hard to have an event.
Yes.
Uh,
I didn't know how to word it, so I just left it like that. I know we've talked about it, at the previous meeting, and I know we do have the ongoing, raffle. We've had donations from elected and department heads, so that's gonna be ongoing throughout the month. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback on that. Employees love it. They think it's neat, you know, that they're looking forward to winning something. I don't know, you know, we still have the money that was budgeted for something for the employees. We had talked about preparing some food, we talked about giving them a gift card, I don't know.
The gift card, they have to pay taxes on it, there's no way around it. Which some of them were a little bit skeptical of that, I don't know why, because they still end up with something. But, I don't know whether, like you said, you know, preparing some food for them and giving them a plate to each employee or something, I don't know.
Can we do something like that at the fairgrounds, maybe spread them out?
We had talked about
Where
it.
they can
but
drive
there's
through,
not-
pick up their plate, or something in that
Yeah,
fashion, you know.
You
okay,
can do that.
Maybe do like the fajitas and stuff, and they do a drive-through, pick up their plate for lunch, or, you know, I don't know.
and,
Maybe leave some tables, but spread out, you know, as wide as you could
Okay.
get
All right.
them at the fairgrounds. Of course, I know that all depends on weather and everything else that goes with that.
so with this, saying that.
We just
the-
won't call Dr. Louder or.
We'll do it drive-through.
Well, I mean, drive through.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
Dr.
So with that, the court is approving that we proceed
Do
with
something,
something.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
appreciate it.
All right, thank y'all. We're gonna take a little break. We're gonna go into closed session, consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code A 551.071, parentheses T, to attorney and client privilege, B 551.071. Oh, is she in the, we're not in, he? Okay. Okay. Thanks. She'll be there in just a minute. Y'all ready? Okay. We're back in session right now. There was no action taken. We're gonna go back to, I'm timing.
Item 15.
Item 15?
15.
Oh, okay.
Good.
We're gonna go back to item 18.
On
Oh.
item 15,
Okay.
on item, the one we're discussing, in 3 weeks, the federal money runs out on these
Yes, sir.
COVID relief,
Yes.
December 31st,
Yes,
the
sir.
funding runs out. Well, it hasn't been reenacted to extend it.
Already expended all the funds that we were
I
allowed.
understand. What I'm saying is there's not gonna be any more money after December 31st. We've already expended all the funds.
Yeah. the money.
Understand that we had enough federal money to get us to December 31st. Right?
Yes, yes.
We're spending approximately, and you sent me the deal, I don't have it in front of me, the report about more or less what we're spending a month that we are gonna have to pick up locally, starting January 1.
Correct, about 23,000.
We got $23,000 a month on salaries plus other costs. How do we
Do it?
Yeah, I mean, how are we gonna continue to go down?
We had
this road?
sent, what we did, we have a contract with the school that, is until till July of next year that they pay for two of the tracers. We're getting that money in. That's helping. That contract, if we continue to do it, automatically renews, if we don't say not to, or they don't. I reached out to the city, to help us with the tracers and stuff that they're helping us with right now. They have a meeting, I think it's Tuesday, and it's on the agenda to get that, to check and see if they'll continue to help us the way they're helping us. We did, in our budget, we did set aside some funds in order to continue to help pay for that for a certain amount of time. So I guess two of the tracers are taken care of, and what I can do is get y'all a list by the next meeting of how much we're gonna be out of pocket.
I just don't wanna see us get ourselves in a financial mess trying to fund this thing for the next.
No, and
And I anticipate at some point they're gonna pass something that will help us do that.
the court, and we talked about this, y'all did a really good job by setting aside funds to help move us forward starting January 1st. Those funds, we can look at, the next meeting if y'all want, we can put a spreadsheet together and show y'all where we're gonna be at with those funds. We did set aside, I think, 200,000, that we took out of
Yeah, we
contingency
took
already.
200 and put in there, and then have we started the process of requesting FEMA reimbursement on some of these?
We have not.
We have not started that process yet. So we still have the option to go after FEMA reimbursement on some of these.
Some of the bigger ticket items.
We do.
And what do we need to do to start that process?
Time.
Well, I mean, do we need help? I mean, do we need, is there something we need to do as a court so we can get that process moving? I mean, do you need some part-time people? I'm just asking, what do we need to be able to?
Right now, time, I don't know, I can look into that and see if we can, with additional help, if we can, facilitate.
Because it would be my understanding we would be able to recoup some of that cost if we had some additional labor costs to get, I don't know what all it consists of. We all know that we're still trying to get funding from the last FEMA deal. It was 4 years ago. So
Yes, sir.
it's a long drawn out process, but there
Yep.
is funding available for us to go after if we can figure out the process to go get that funding.
Correct.
Okay. You want to bring her on?
She's on.
Okay. She don't want us to see her? Doctor, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. No, there was, they've asked if we could write another, declaration. I told them that I have to get approval from the court, another 90-day extension because that one's already expired. So y'all would have to give me approval to write another declaration. She had some points, I know, Doctor, that you had some points that you wanted written in. If you'll go ahead and share that with the court. I know that you sent some bullet points yesterday, the day before. But just go over that and then maybe go over, I think people believe that it's okay and that our numbers are not going up, but they're going up. I mean, there's no way around it. They're going up. Every time that we have the Thanksgiving, stuff like that, and then now Christmas and New Year's, our numbers are still they're gonna go up. But if you can give us some of the bullet points that you would like to be written into a declaration, that way the court, if they give me authority to do it, then we'll write them in. But go ahead, Don.
Yeah, of course. So, right now, it's clearly how the cases are
Oops.
in the number of cases per week, and if you average the number of cases per week into 7, you can see that it has been trending upwards. Right now, we're averaging 30 cases daily. Well, in October or beginning of November, we were in 12, 15, and then beginning of November, we were at 20. So numbers are increasing, and we that are in contact with all these positive cases, we see that the majority of them are due to family contact in Thanksgiving. And I know I've seen those cases too in schools that the family went together and drove somewhere, and then it turns out that the case was positive, or the aunt or an uncle or a boyfriend was positive, and then consequently the whole family is positive again. And I think the problem right now is that people hear about that and then directly go and test. And it doesn't work like that. It takes a while for someone to actually be positive on a test. So they need to wait at least 7 days before testing. Because if not, then it will just be a false negative, and then they will just be contagious and start spreading more the infection. That's how our numbers continue going up. So for the declaration, I wanted to touch on some points that I think are important right now due to problems that we're seeing. So I think one important one would be to consider a gathering no larger than 10 people. And if somebody wants to have an event, they should be submitted through event compliance forms, and then so we can verify if those events are complying with COVID safety guidelines. And obviously, if people violate the number of gatherings, or if they violate COVID safety protocols, well, it will result in a fine. We've also started seeing how a lot of households don't quarantine when there's a positive member. And we do fine them if we find out that they're going out and violating their quarantine order by the sheriff. So I would just like that to be also in the declaration.
Dr. Lara, real quick, Commissioner Nelson had a comment.
Did you say you fine them now?
They have. Commissioner Nelson's question is that we've already fined somebody, which the answer to that is yes. You've already written a citation for people that were supposed to be home, and bottom line is weren't. There's been citations given already. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, these are. It isn't like, well, I just left the house to go to groceries. It's like you were told to stay home.
No, I'm fine with it. I know the governor took away a lot of.
They allowed, he left it in there, he left part of it in, and really it's a maximum of $1,000. They did, we had Blue Oasis and Buzzard's Roost were the first two that were shut down. The next one was the backyard.
Backyard.
Yeah.
Backyard.
And we worked with him, and it's hard as a business owner because you get in there and you sort of lose control. You turn on the music and they get about 4 or 5 beers in them, and hell, it's hard to gain control again. But all three of them, it looks like they're working better. They're working to get there. They're working through it. We do have a complaint on one of the bars in South Del Rio. that just opened up, I guess, 2 or 3 months ago or something like that. There's a lot of complaints and a lot of video on that, and they've been talking about they're gonna go in and enforce that, but it lies within the city limits. You know, one of the things that we were talking about last week was the medicines, and I think Commissioner Nettleton, you brought up if we had the capability to store. You know, in visiting with Linda at the hospital, she said that they had the capability to store. And Dr. Lauder, there's 4 right now still that have applied and have been approved to administer the vaccine, right? There's 4 entities.
Yes. There are 4 providers right now, and I'm trying to, working on getting more on the list.
And how are we doing that, as far as priorities, or is that coming from the feds? Or is that something we do locally, or how does that work?
Do you mean enrolling providers?
No, not providers, that's the actual vaccine.
Who's actually gonna get it? Are the feds dictating the priority of healthcare first, elderly, or is there a priority, I guess?
Okay, yes, so the state has phases. So the first phase of vaccination would be to healthcare providers and nursing homes.
Mm-hmm.
They're still working on the details, and I think they haven't received the vaccine yet, but they're expecting it mid-December. And the stocks that Texas received is going to be distributed along all the regions. So we actually don't know how many vaccines we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'll find out more information in a few more weeks.
Okay.
We've had several people calling even from the jail, you know, and they're concerned also, you know, who's gonna get it? Are we gonna set something aside? Is it something, local decisions? It is, the state's already put it out, or the federal government's put it out. Who's gonna get it? You know, the question was asked yesterday, who would you know, if it was local level, well, first, whoever's gonna take care of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I don't know, you know, it's just that simple. You know.
No, I mean, I just wanna make sure that the healthcare people are gonna have it.
And those are the first ones. Those are the first ones. First responders, visiting with Angela Prather yesterday, and you know, also, I mean, it's one of those deals that, you know, the concern is when you look at, there's 5 different vaccines, and again, Dr. Lauder, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's 5 different vaccines, but the ones they're looking at right now, and you said it was Pfizer and Moderna. Mm-hmm. But they have, but also, in looking at that chart, they have different storage.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of I mean, one of them, if you open it, it's 70 degrees below Celsius, and the other one, one of them you can refrigerate only.
Yeah.
And then, you know, one of the questions, and I don't know, doctor, if you can answer this one, but you look at the news and then everything that you get on email, and if the bottom line is, if you get 1,000 doses, that you can only do 500 people because you need to make sure that you can give them that second dose and not count on getting more. Is that what you're hearing? Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Mm-hmm.
You know, so, I mean, you know, I think Dr. Lauda was also working on the storage capability of the 4 people that would administer it.
Mm-hmm.
But you were working on getting that number, making sure, you know, what that number was going to be also, right, Doc?
Yes, I think they, when they enroll as a provider, they establish their storage capacity, and then after that, the state determines how many vaccines they can receive.
Who's gonna, is the individual getting the vaccine gonna pay for this, or is the federal government paying for it, or how is that working, or do we even know yet?
I don't know yet, but I think the cost of the vaccine is gonna be low, for what I've heard in the meeting.
And a lot of the stuff that was sent out by,
and the reason I'm asking, if our healthcare people are gonna do it, they're gonna have to pay out of their own pocket. I mean, we need to figure out an option for that.
well, the stuff that Region 8 sent out, I haven't seen anything to say exactly how that's gonna work.
So I just want us to be, or us in the hospital to kind of look at that, and if there is I mean, these are the people that are taking care of us. I don't think we need to be hitting them with a bill for getting a vaccine.
Do you have any other questions for Doc? She didn't want to see us today. She turned it off.
And I apologize, I know I interrupted you in the middle of your list of things you wanted in the order, so I don't know if you finished those or not.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes.
Okay, what you were talking about with the judge's declaration, including the gatherings of 10 people or more, were you talking about outdoor gatherings or other gatherings?
In general.
Okay, because the judge does have the authority with outdoor, and I'm not sure how we would enforce indoor unless it's, public events. I mean, they're in a public place. Okay.
I mean, how's this gonna affect like structure, all the other things that are, you know?
Bueno, is there anything else for Doc?
So I think I haven't finished the list.
I didn't think she had. Okay. Okay, do the list.
Okay, so, the third point would be, the city right now is restricting use of the park fields for games, like unorganized games. And I think we should mimic that in the county declaration too, so that people don't look for knowing that the county parks do allow them, but the city don't. And then I guess the last one would be to, all the bars and restaurants that are not following the COVID guidelines, that they're using dance floors, that they're, extending their capacity, well, to have something in writing saying that we can issue citations for them, so that they can correct these measures.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was it for me.
Y'all got anything else?
No, I think that was it. Just make sure somebody is, about the enforcement part, that we know who is gonna enforce this, who is gonna make the establishments or the violations accountable.
Okay. Y'all have anything else? No. If y'all don't mind, if y'all got 10 more minutes, if you don't mind, go back in executive session real quick. We're gonna go back in executive session real quick on it, and then we'll come back and then we'll adjourn. Dr. Lara, thank you so much. Okay?
Thank you for
Thank you,
having
ma'am.
me.
Sorry about that, folks. Go back to item 15. Anybody make a motion?
I make the motion. Yes, sir.
On the motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second Commissioner Nettleton, all those in favor? 5-0 vote. Commissioner's comment?
Judge, and you do have that declaration, right? Okay.
Commissioner's comment? None. Any judge's comments? I have none. Meeting adjourned. Sorry. Keep it long.